In this video, we will discuss some basics of buying versus leasing an automobile, as well as the calculations that will help you make this decision. Like many decisions in life, the choice to buy a car has advantages and disadvantages. For example, advantages of buying a car include ownership of the vehicle. It's yours. Also, when compared to leasing an automobile, there are no additional costs incurred for extra mileage. The disadvantages of buying a car include a large down payment that may be required, monthly car payments that are higher than lease payments, and you may not be able to afford the car you really want because of the cost. If you lease an automobile, there are also advantages and disadvantages. The advantages of a lease include a small security deposit for a leased vehicle when compared to the down payment required to buy a car. In addition, monthly lease payments are usually lower than the car payments required when you buy a car. Finally, you may be able to afford a more expensive car if you lease because of lower lease payments. Before you opt for leasing an automobile, keep in mind that there are also disadvantages to leasing. Remember, you have no ownership in the vehicle, and the automobile must be returned to the leasing company at the end of the lease. Also, people who lease may be required to pay additional costs. For example, people often incur additional fees if you drive a leased vehicle for more miles than specified in the lease agreement. One of the advantages of buying an automobile is that the deal is pretty straightforward. You pick an automobile, negotiate the price, the down payment, and the financing. In this example, you're purchasing an automobile for $25,000. Factors to consider when finalizing the deal include the value of the automobile you are buying, $25,000 in this example. This is often the first and most difficult step when negotiating with an automobile dealer. Keep in mind, it pays to become an informed consumer by gathering information about the car, the price, and consumer reviews before you go to a dealership. The amount of the down payment, $4,000 in this example. The length of the loan and the monthly payment, $475 a month for 48 months. Also, keep in mind that financing can be obtained for both longer and shorter time periods, which can increase or decrease your monthly payments. The value of your trade-in. Obtaining fair value for the vehicle you trade in requires negotiation on your part. Again, the key is often in doing your homework to determine a fair value for your old car. After all the negotiation and the numbers are calculated, the total cost to purchase this car is $21,800. If you choose to lease the same car, you'll be required to make a $500 security deposit, make $450 monthly lease payments for 36 months, factor in the opportunity cost of making a $500 security deposit. Assuming the $500 could have been invested for 3 years and earned 5% each year, this represents a $75 cost that should be added to the total cost of leasing the automobile. Pay $1,000 end of lease charges. The total cost to lease the automobile for 3 years is $17,275, when compared to buying a car with a total cost of $21,800. Leasing the same car for 3 years is cheaper with a total lease cost of $17,275. Still, there are a number of factors to consider before signing a lease agreement. For example, at the end of the 3 years, what happens? If you lease, you turn the car back to the lease company and take the bus home or call a friend to pick you up and take you home. You have no car. If you buy a car, once the payments are made, you still own the car. It's yours. You can drive your car for as long as you like, or until you decide to buy a different car. There are also a number of common lease traps to avoid. Lease agreements are prepared by the lease company and are often complicated and difficult for the consumer to understand. They always contain unfamiliar words and terms that can cost you a lot of money. And there are extra charges if you don't honor the terms of the lease, such as a maximum amount of miles before additional charges are incurred. The bottom line, the decision to buy or lease an automobile is a difficult decision. You should take your time. Do your homework to determine the value of both the car you want to buy or lease and the value of your trade-in. And ask lots of questions, especially if you choose the lease.